Heroes. Villains. A tale as old as time, and the never-ending battle to protect truth and justice from those who thrive on chaos and bloodshed. Come with us as we peel back the mask on your beloved Crusaders of Light and dive deep into the dark and twisted abyss of your most feared and hated harbingers of doom. Follow your host, Power Maximus, and everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, as they take a trip down the rabbit hole that is everything super. So, are you a hero or a villain? Either way, find that super suit and suit up for the Super Breakdown.
Testing. Mic 1, 2. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another episode of the Super Breakdown. We are back, and we are here with everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage. Everybody give it up for Lord Triage. The one, the only, everyone's favorite Saiyan King himself, Saiyan Jack.
Oh, fuck you! Yeah, You're already starting.
You're already starting, guys.
You should calm down, all right? A lion does not concern himself with the opinions of the sheep.
What did you say?
I'm sorry. Let me say it in my nigga voice. Real niggas don't give a fuck about what bitch niggas gotta say.
All right, guys. This is gonna be a good one. All right, so we're doing something a little different this time around, guys. So we are doing a top 5 countdown. So we are doing a top 5 countdown of our favorite individual. Me and Triage. We're doing a top 5 countdown of our favorite early 2000s animated, well, not even just animated, just TV series back from the early 2000s. I got my 5. Tank, Triage, my boy, he got his 5, yo. So it's going to be a good one. We're going to be breaking down the show, discussing what the show is about, discussing how that show resonated to us on a personal level, and how we feel that the show has impacted the pop culture and just that genre of show in general. So without further ado, top 5. Lord Triage, what is your top 5? Sorry, I had
to. My top 5 would be, let's see, in no particular order. It would be KND, Kids Next Door, the Teen Titans, Batman Beyond, the Justice League, the 2003 Ninja Turtles.
Oh, absolutely. TMNT was fire. That was 4 Kids.
Yes.
So now for me, my top 5, and again, also in no particular order, would have to be number 1, Jackie Chan Adventures. If you guys, everybody has to know. Dark Angel. For those of you who don't remember, Dark Angel was a Jessica Alba. She starred Jessica Alba. It was a while back, early 2000s. Eureka, sci-fi a series on sci-fi, really carried sci-fi for a while there. And then Danny Phantom. Everyone knows Danny Phantom. Everybody knows Danny Phantom. If you don't know Danny Phantom, you probably weren't having a good childhood if you don't know Danny Phantom. You might want to go see a therapist if you haven't seen Danny Phantom. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in your game. But yeah. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So you said on your list what you got? Batman Beyond. Let's talk about it. Actually, no. Titans. Let's talk about Teen Titans. We don't really hear Teen Titans talked about too much anymore. Let's talk about Teen Titans.
Okay. So, for all those who are confused, this is Teen Titans, not that Teen Titans Go fuckery that some of y'all might want to try to relate and pass off as that squad.
They're not. Yes, they are not that squad, but it's good for what it's made for, and it's very meta, and it realizes it is not and will not ever be as good. Bro, there's a whole episode of Teen Titans Go where they literally show their past selves. They show the original Teen Titans. I'm like, wow, these guys are so much cooler than us. What happened? There's a whole episode with
The movie.
No, forget about the movie. It was a legit episode. Before they even dropped the movie, they actually had the episode with Control Freak. And Control Freak starts showing them the original Teen Titans. So they that whole episode was a fourth wall break. So give it a chance. Give it a chance. It will never be Teen Titans. When there's trouble, you know who to call. It will never be another. There will never be another Teen Titans. Like Titans on HBO, it's good, but it'll never be a Teen Titans. I'm sorry to interrupt, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then I thought that was different about this show. Is one, it had a great overall storytelling because that's a big thing with me. The animation I thought was cool. It was different. It was on point, and there was never a lack of what's what I'm looking for, of interest or intrigue. Like, you know how every now and then you get that filler episode where you're like, all right, well, this was pointless or this was fucking goofy.
Yeah.
I thought all the episodes that he did, or at least the majority of them, had that on your edge of your seat. You can't wait to see what happens next level of fun and thrill to it. But that's just DC knocking out the when it comes to animated shit. Period.
I definitely agree. I felt like Titans. It was definitely more mature for the age group that it was geared towards. But I feel like from watching that, I got a lot of really good life lessons from that show as well. The show and the movies. I love the Tokyo movie. Oh my god, Trouble in Tokyo was such a great movie, and it was very well written. The animation was so damn clean. And then on top of that, the story that it told was just amazing. Now I feel like if you look at how do you feel like it relates to the Titans from the comic books, from the original rendition of Titans?
Well, they put a little bit more of a. It was interesting because they stayed true to the source material, but they gave it a gritty tone to it. Like just when there's an episode called Go, where it shows how they all met, and it's actually opens up with Starfire escaping custody, and the first person she runs into is Robin, and how Robin's stopping a mugger, and the dude's like, "Wait, hold on, you're not from this city. You're not supposed to be here." He's like, "Yeah, nigga, I just moved here," and he proceeds to give me all the smoke.
Oh, I will have to say the way they portrayed Robin. This is also, by the way, Dick Grayson Robin. This is Dick Grayson. The way he was a fucking goon. He was a fucking goon too. He never held back when it came to giving somebody to smoke.
And out of all the incarnations of Robin, besides the Young Justice one, this is the actual Robin I could see. Like, okay, he was trained by Batman to be the next Batman, but be better than Batman.
Exactly. All right. Yep. I most definitely agree. And like you said, aside from the Young Justice, Robin. I feel like the Young Justice Robin is they modeled the Titans Robin off of the Young Justice Robin. You know, he's very about like doing the right thing, but has that really dark kind of past there. You know what I mean? I would have a past too if I was told by a grown man to run around in spandex and beat up bad guys dressed as fucking clowns, as you see on the screen. I'd be a little troubled as well. Um, but he held it together, you know, and I feel like they gave him a very strong personality and a very strong leadership personality. I feel like in Titans we don't see him struggle with the morals of Batman as much as we see in Titans. Like in Teen Titans, I feel like he's like, yo, this is how Batman did things. This is how I'm gonna do things to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
But like he was very in tune with his team. You know, he knew the strengths, he knew their weaknesses, and he knew when there was something going wrong with them. But they also made him very human-like. They gave him those very human aspects, like, you know, he's still human. He still feels fear, feels doubt, depression, and stuff, especially when it comes to Slade.
Yeah.
So then my question would be, where do you feel that this version of Teen Titans ranks along with other versions of the Titans?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, here's the funny thing with that. So it's like it depends on what your definition of the Titans, because like even like the Young Justice crew, they're not technically the Teen Titans, but them niggas are the Teen Titans. While I appreciate this for its standalone theme, because like you didn't see no other members of the Justice League, you never saw Batman intervene, or you never saw any other mainstream heroes who came in and tried to like tell them what to do besides Beast Boy's interaction with the Doom Patrol.
I don't know why I'm thinking Booster Gold showed up at one point.
Booster Gold?
Not Booster. It was somebody. There was another person. It was like low on the Aqualad.
Well, but Aqualad, like he did show up, but like you never saw Aquaman. So it's like even like their over counterparts, just like how Speedy popped up, and they literally
East.
Oh, Titans East. Yeah, Titans East. Yep.
The other team.
Yep, I forgot about them. I'm getting mixed up with something. I'm getting mixed up with something else. That there was somebody else. Like, yeah, we see. Damn! Wow. I'm drawing a blank on that. I swore there was another. There was at least one. One like older hero that we see.
There we go. What up, Jim?
No, not Terra. Not. Fuck it. I'm drawing a blank. I'll figure it out later. But, no, you were saying that they don't have, you know, they were pretty much self-sufficient.
They were. That's something I thought that was really cool. And the other thing I thought that was really, even like when they had the whole thing where all the villains united that they fought throughout the series, and they tried to take them out, so all the heroes had to unite. So I thought that was pretty cool, and it's like they had to do that all on their own. And then the other thing that was also really interesting is that some of the issues that got addressed.
Yes, yeah. I know. There's one. There's definitely one for me that definitely. One episode for me, I think it was like a 2-part episode for me. 2-part episode that really kind of hit home for me, and it probably definitely did for you too. But before we get into that, what are some of the other ones? Because I think you know exactly what episode I'm talking about.
Are you talking about the episode was Starfire?
Yeah.
Okay, so the one I thought that was interesting was the one with Cyborg.
Yeah, and Brother Blood.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's one of them. Because I feel weren't they kind of back-to-back episodes, kind of like not back-to-back, but the situations were close together.
Not so much. I remember that the whole thing with Cyborg infiltrating Hive and him having to disguise himself. And then I'd like to also like to acknowledge that real quick because this incarnation of Cyborg is hands down my favorite.
I agree 100%. I stand behind that 100%.
Like I like the fact that he was the team's brains. I like the fact that he was also the team's bronze. I like the fact that he could lead. I like the fact that he was with the shits.
Booyah. Yep, 100%. He's he even though technically Starfire was supposed to be that lieutenant to Robin, supposed to be that, that second in command for Robin. It was very much so Cyborg. It was very much so Cyborg. When Robin wasn't around and the team was down and out, it was Cyborg like, yo, pick your heads up. Let's get to work. What would Robin do?
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely appreciate that. This show, it touched on a lot of self-image issues. It touched on a lot of, hey, in the one episode I'm talking about, it touched on a lot of racism in it as well.
What's up, Starfire? Yeah.
Yep. And it like again, like I said, it really hit kind of really close to home for me.
There it is.
Batman on his prep time can't jump from ledge to ledge.
Thomas Wayne Batman, so shut up.
Time. Fuck prep time. I'm sorry. Recompose myself.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trigger you. I apologize. I didn't mean to trigger you. Didn't mean to trigger you like that. I forget. I forget. That's a really touchy subject.
So yes, like I was saying, like Starfire with the Troc episode, where you would have thought that this great hero who came from across the galaxy had an issue with her people, and how he gave all the Teen Titans nicknames, and come to find out he's technically calling her like a racial slur.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. I remember it was Beast Boy. Beast Boy called her that, and she freaked the fuck out on him. And then she went to her room, and then next thing you know, Cyber pops up. He's like, "Oh, what's good?" And so she starts explaining it. He's like, "What does it mean?" She's like, "It means nothing." He's like, it means something. You feel it. Like she's like, "No, it literally means nothing. He's calling me a nothing.
Like I'm less than.
I'm less than." And bro, that scene had me like my jaw dropped. I just sat there. I'm like, "Yo." And she was like, "You would." He's like, "You." She was like, "You would never understand how that feels." And he looks at her like, of course I do. I live every day with knowing how that feels. At the end of the day, look at me. I'm a cyborg. And I'm like, you know full well who's about to say black.
Well, we know that. We know that.
Yeah, yeah. That whole moment right there was like, trust me. That's what I love. Like they were able to make a point without outwardly making that point. You know what I'm saying? We all knew what Cyborg was going to say next. We knew what he meant by what he said. We know full well that he meant black. He lives every day as not only a black man, but a black man who's been disfigured and is now, and to some people, considered an abomination, a cyborg. And yet he still finds a way to put a smile on his face every day and go out and save the world, and even save certain people that could hate him just for being who he is, even though he saves people's lives. That's something that I like about it. It didn't shy away. It did not shy away. It was very in your face and upfront, and then the emotional ties. You remember the episode where is it Starfire? Starfire gets thrown in it, go forward in time. She gets thrown into the future.
Yes.
by Doctor
Warp.
Time.
It was Warp.
Warp. My bad, Warp. Yeah. That scene, that episode was pretty serious. That episode was pretty damn deep. You know, it cuts into now. You know that it pretty much showed her kind of like what she meant to the team. She was the heart of the team. You know, Dick done went off by himself, became Nightwing. Beast Boy got taken in by the circus and shit. Raven was in like a psych ward in a way, and Cyborg was stuck at the tower because his batteries were dead. And they all were like, separated and spread out. And in the end, she was the heart of the team in a way.
That's definitely what it was.
And that episode, like, a lot of these episodes really hit hard, really hit close to home. And that doesn't even go to mention the whole fucking Slade, the whole Slade arc that they went through. That Slade arc really touched on a lot of well, not the first part of it, not them leading up to taking down Slade and the death of Tara. Again, that whole part right there touched on a lot of grief, a lot of guilt. And then moving forward, when we get Slade fucking around in Robin's head, that whole arc touches on mental health.
Yeah.
And like, so I feel like that Teen Titans really it was above its time, but it was one of those shows that progressed that progressed society in itself. It was one of those shows that carried people into the next phase of their life.
And I also think
You good over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure? Sound like you're choking over there, brother. You're choking.
Yeah, I know I'm choking.
Got it. You better clear your throat a little bit over there.
I'm trying to get in a good position. Damn.
You better rethink what you was about to say, bro.
That's what I was about to say. That's why I didn't say it.
You was about to catch it just now. Oh, I was ready.
I know
you
you ready.
was
I
about
was like,
to
wait a minute.
catch you right now. He said, he was about to say, I'm trying to get into a better position. Sir. Ooh. Oh. So aside from Titans, what else would you say within that within the early 2000s, a show that kind of really started to pull society forward into a new age? I say for me, I feel like the show that really kind of going off your top 5, you said Batman Beyond. I feel like Batman Beyond and X-Men Evolution were two shows that really kind of pulled pulled a lot of its viewers into the next stage of their life. Batman Beyond being a direct spin-off and direct continuation of Batman the Animated Series, which we do talk about in a previous episode, guys. Check out our YouTube, all of our episodes on there, the Super Breakdown playlist, guys. Click our link in the bio. I'm gonna drop our link in the comments or to our link tree. Check it out. Seriously, check it out. It seriously, it really does. It really tells a lot. But Batman Beyond carried a lot of us into the next stage of our life, being a darker, more gritty continuation of the Batman animated series, which is already kind of dark. What things would you say about Batman Beyond and the way it carried into the next age for people? You still there, Triage?
Wait.
Well, for me,
You-
coming off of my playlist for my top 5.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, brother.
I don't know what happened. Okay, I heard everything you said. My bad. So,
Oh, yeah.
for
Go
me,
ahead.
for me with Batman Beyond, I like the fact that they had the whole thing where Terry McGinnis took the mantle, opposed to someone who was actually trained and groomed by him. So
What do you mean?
like he had many prospects who could have taken over the mantle of protector of the city, whether it been Tim Drake or Dick Grayson or Barbara Gordon, but no one ever did. So it's like the mantle of Batman basically like faded almost into extinction until Terry McGinnis picked up the cowl and became the protector of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing was that the fact that Terry McGinnis wasn't an adult, opposed to him being a teenager who was just trying to work out his own shit, and then just decided to take on that responsibility, and then goes on to become, I'm not going to say a better Batman, but he revolutionated the I know what I want to say. He revolutionized the idea of Batman, in my opinion.
Ooh, go in on that. Go in on that. I want to hear that. Go in on that.
So even like if you look at like the Batman of the era of the animated series, he was still the quote unquote vigilante. He was still the suspect of a manhunt. Anytime that the police saw him, they were supposed to arrest him. That was supposed to be the whole thing. Opposed to when when Terry McGinnis took the cowl, when this nigga showed up, the police breathed a sigh of relief. Oh, he got this. We'll just sit back and arrest the nigga once he's done.
All right, I see that. I definitely see that. Because at that point in time, because Batman had been gone for so long, that crime had gotten so out of hand that the GCPD couldn't keep up with it. Whoa! Hold on, Jack. Walk back. Go back.
The fuck?
I spy Mr. Terrific.
That is Mr. Terrific.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Okay. That's Black Suit Superman as well. All right. I'm sorry. That just caught me off guard. You never see Mr. Terrific in anything.
Yeah.
Fan made.
Fan made. All right. Okay. I did not see that there.
He doesn't have his powers. He doesn't.
Wait, Superman doesn't fly? Doesn't have his powers?
This is after he got out of the thing.
Oh, that was right after he got out of the
No.
Fuck. Because this is after Doomsday. After Doomsday, air quote, killed him. Air quotes. He was just in a hybrid.
Superboy fell to his death. I'm kind of mad about that.
Did you just say Superboy fell to his death?
Yes, he's dead. He was supposed to be in with me, and he fell. It was 90s Superboy anyway.
That's not the fucking point.
He's fucking Superboy. How does he fall to his death?
I don't know.
Like shit, even if the nigga can't fly, he's invulnerable.
It's nighttime. Sunny out.
Nigga, Superboy is tactical telekinesis. He doesn't have all the powers of a Kryptonian.
Wait. Did you say tactical telekinesis? Hold up. Expand on that real quick. Side quest. Side quest initiated.
Okay. So, Goonga Calabunga. So, for all my people who don't know, all my level 7. Because Superboy has the DNA of Lex Luthor and he has the DNA of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But where humans have, 46 chromosomes?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Kryptonians have over 100. So it's like they couldn't read his DNA completely. So that's why they bridged the gaps with Superman's DNA with DNA from Lex Luthor. So because of the gaps in his DNA, that's why it always appeared that Superboy does not have full Kryptonian powers. But that is not the case. He doesn't have full Kryptonian powers because the powers couldn't be completely replicated. So instead, when they were cloning him, instead of giving him those powers, they gave him tactical telekinesis. And because he has tactical telekinesis, he's allowed to replicate the powers of a Kryptonian.
Expand on when you say tactical telekinesis, because there's telekinesis. I know what telekinesis is.
Yes.
What's so tactical about his telekinesis?
Okay. So you know how telekinesis is basically only limited to the imagination of what you can do with the material you're working with, right?
Hmm?
So instead of his being mental, his is physical. So he would, instead of him lifting a car with super strength, he's technically lifting with his mind.
Oh, that's new. I never knew about that. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's Parasite.
Don't let that you. You know, Parasite always came off a little rapey to me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, very, very rapey. Give me your powers. Give me your powers. Yeah, that nigga was thirsty.
Look
He's
here,
a
Superman.
thirsty nigga.
He said, "Look here, Superman. I like you, and I want you. Where this can go? The easy way or the hard way?"
But I will get some powers. Mm-hmm.
But anywho, yeah. So kinesis, like however he could think of it. So, like for example, if he wanted to run faster, all you have to do is think about it, and then he's gonna be in super speed.
He's just spamming the fuck out of Jag right now.
He is. He's pissing me off. I'm gonna keep using heat vision.
You better protect your butt, nigga.
Protect the booty at all costs. Booty is cherished in prison. He taking it to prison.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
I know.
Good. Bro, he got you in the corner like.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Better do something.
Better do something.
I'm doing something. He's in the corner now.
Uh-huh.
Turn table.
Bro, he about to turn you over and have you sounding like. He about to hit you with the.
Am I playing a Spider-Man or am I playing a Superman right now? Okay?
Can you get off of the Spider-Man tip? Yes, Tom Holland got his cheeks clapped in the movie. Okay, all right, we get it. He got his cheeks clapped in the movie. Okay. Nobody said no shit about Zendaya getting her cheeks clapped in that tennis movie by two dudes. Ain't nobody say nothing about that. How do you think Tom Holland was feeling at that? He felt some kind of way. He watched that movie and sat there like.
I would like to interject and say I'm a full supporter of pleasure. How you play in the bedroom is your business. Get your rock off how you see fit, as long as there's nothing damaging or immoral.
I mean, I feel like, is there really anything that's immoral in the bedroom?
Yes, nigga, yes. Listen, hold on. We're going down the rabbit hole with this shit, so we're going to phase passes where this goes too far left. That's your list, Power. What's next on your sheet?
For me, I really want to shine a light on more so X-Men Evolution. I know you got X-Men Evolution on your list too. Let's break down X-Men Evolution, because for those you don't know, clearly you guys want to know. You guys aren't on the inside of what we do. But this episode was originally going to be about the 90s X-Men. So I feel like it's only right to talk about X-Men Evolution, the next evolution of X-Men, and how that really carried in, and also how that carried into a lot of people's next era. There was a lot of things. There was, I believe, X-Men Evolution was literally the next X-Men show after the 90s X-Men stopped. Am I correct, or am I failing here?
Correct.
And when I say evolved, it really fucking evolved The animation style was awesome. It gave the X-Men a more personal life that was less dramatic and more of a teen drama. I feel like it definitely had more of a teen drama style from then literally being teenagers and having to deal with school, having to hide their mutations while they go through school. Um, like hell, when they got Nightcrawler, they even gave him a glamour, a physical augmentation, so that he can actually go to school and be a part of everyone else. Not to mention, it also introduced a new black character, new black mutant, Spike, who is the nephew of Aurora Monroe Storm.
Evan Daniels, yes.
Evan Daniels. Spike was literally a character that was specifically created for this show.
Yes. And the funny thing is that from what I understand, the producers who created the character had no clue about the character Meryl.
Yep. They completely forgot about her. Completely forgot about her and her connection to her strong connection to the Morlocks.
Right. Which was interesting considering that Spike winds up eventually joining them.
Mm-hmm. And also being one of their leaders as well.
Yes.
So it was interesting throughout the show to, yes, okay, we got Shadowcat, we got Jubilee. We didn't see Jubilee until later on in the show. We end up seeing her come in later on, and see her development of her powers. But we got Shadowcat, Jean Grey, we got Scott Summers. I'm sorry, let me clarify. If I want to say the real name, I'm gonna say the real names. We got Kitty Pryde, Shadowcat, Jean Grey. She really didn't have another name besides the Phoenix or Dark Phoenix. And we got Scott Summers, Cyclops. We see oh my God, what's Nightcrawler's real name? I forget his real name.
Kurt Wagner.
Kurt Wagner, yes, Kurt. We see Kurt Wagner. And we definitely see Logan. We see James Howlett, Logan, in that, and see how he becomes pretty much a mentor to all these teens. Literally, they're all teens or they're in high school. So they're not only are they dealing with their mutations, but they're also dealing with the everyday shit that teenagers go throughout high school, with bullies and everything. We see the formation of the Brotherhood, with Blob, Quake, Toad. No. His name's not Quake. He's
Avalanche.
Avalanche, Toad, Blob. We see Scarlet, Quicksilver. All the big names. We actually see the origins of Beast.
Yes.
We actually see the origins of Beast in there. We get to see backstory for Aurora Monroe. We get to see the backstory for Storm as well. Like, the show really touched on a lot of stuff that and it touched on in a way where it was kind of condensed and easier to consume than it was in the 90s X-Men. Because the 90s X-Men went all out. When they did a story arc, they did a motherfucking story arc. There was no this story arc wasn't just like 2-3 episodes. No, they dived deep into these characters in the 90s. But I feel like X-Men Evolution was able to take these characters, take the stories, and condense them in a way that you get all the information that's needed to know in a very consumable way, while also being able to connect with their audience at the time. Because I was in, what was I think I was in either middle school going into high school at the time that X-Men Evolution was out, that I was watching X-Men Evolution. I can't remember, but for me personally, it really, like, I watched damn near every episode. And not to mention, I think we do eventually end up seeing don't we see X-23 in the series as well?
This is her first appearance and is in the show.
Yep. Her first actual on-screen appearance was in X-Men Evolution.
No, it's her first appearance, period.
A first appearance, period. Oh, really? I thought she had been in the comics beforehand.
No, she was specifically created for the show, and she became so popular off that appearance they drew her into the comics.
Okay, so it was a Harley situation. Same thing as Spike.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. And like, and they dive deep. They dive deep, and we end up finding out that that Rogue. We get to see Rogue. We get to see a lot more of Rogue. There was at one point where Rogue damn near became the main character of the show. At one point.
Oh yeah, from leading roles. Yes, she did.
Yeah, and we end up finding out that her and Nightcrawler are pretty much our brother and sister. Because apparently Mystique is her mother.
Yes.
That threw me off. I was like, whoa, where in the source material was this at?
Well, it actually goes back to her original appearance because if you remember, Rogue actually was a villain along with Mystique because that's how Rogue wound up with her super strength and her ability to fly because she stole those powers from the original Captain Marvel. Who was
Don't say original Captain Marvel. She was not the original Captain Marvel.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. Did you want to interject?
No, that was me. That was me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was me. Yeah, she
Wow.
was not the original Captain Marvel. The original Captain Marvel was the blue nigga, Captain Marvel.
Oh my God, nigga. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying. And fuck it. We're going. Fuck it. If we're doing that, he wasn't even the original Captain Marvel anyways in comic books in general. The original Captain Marvel was Shazam, what we now call Shazam.
Oh, let's see. Here we go.
Yep.
Here we go.
We diving. Blood, motherfucker. We are diving. Yes, if you want to say that original Captain Marvel, don't be wrong. I don't like Carol Danvers. I don't. I just don't. But if we want to say the original, yeah, don't give her that title of the original. She is not the original. Fucking Captain Marvel isn't even the original Captain Marvel. Shazam was the original Captain Marvel, and Marvel just so happened to steal that from them. There was a whole like court case. There was a whole lawsuit and shit with that. Guys, definitely look that up. That shit's interesting. They literally fought over the name Captain Marvel for a little bit there, and Marvel ended up winning, and DC ended up having to change the name to Shazam. Now I'm sorry. Yes. So yeah, Rogue ends up getting her powers from Carol Danvers. And at that point, Carol ends up becoming Miss Marvel at that time. Within that time, no, Rogue becomes Miss Marvel. It's a really convoluted fucking storyline. It's very convoluted. And then like Carol Danvers ends up splitting into two characters and then coming back together to one. It was fucking weird. But yeah, we see like the origin of a lot of characters in a more condensed fashion, and Rogue ends up becoming the main character. And I'm sorry, as you were saying, back to her original thing, how she got her power, her strength, and her flight. I'm sorry to cut you off on that. I just got that triggered me. I'm sorry.
Niggas.
But yeah, I'm sorry. You were saying, yeah, she originally got her powers.
Yeah, so that's how she actually got her ability to fly. Her super strength was from that Captain Marvel. So that also would explain that origin from the original story or from the other animated series from the 90s. So that actually all ties in and it kind of makes sense. The other thing I thought that was really cool was this series' portrayal of Magneto and his relationship with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Talk about it.
Because I think for the better half of the first season, you don't even really see Magneto like that. He's just in the shadows.
And
it's like you hear like doing like Machiavellian shit through like having Mystique recruit the Brotherhood, or he's trying to recruitment of Warren Worthington Angel. Like Magneto was doing some shit, and then it's like him making Mystique the principal of the school that they all went to. Like just the shit he was doing. I'm like, okay,
pulling straight from the shadows.
Yeah. And then when he shows up to enact his master plan, And then he shows up with his acolytes. This nigga showed up with Colossus, Pyro, Sabretooth, fucking Gambit.
Yeah.
And I did like this show's depiction of Gambit.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That shit was it was clean. It was so fucking clean.
I took him more as like a mercenary for hire type shit, especially with the whole
That's
show.
what he was. That's what he was. When we first get introduced to him, that's what he is.
You remember the Thieves Guild. So I just, like, they basically enlisted him into using his abilities. And then Colossus, like, from what I took from it, that he was serving Magneto because he had no choice. I was looking at something to do with him, like I always took like Magneto must have taken his sister or something and like hid her away, and that's like how he got him to work for him.
Mm-hmm.
But that was never really elaborated on. Apparently, it was supposed to later on in the future, but the show wound up being canceled.
Yeah. That definitely. I feel like that was one of the shows. Again, another one of the shows that was kind of ahead of its time. It was doing good for a while, but I guess for the time, it got a little too meta, so they had to cancel it.
Yeah. Well, any show that involves bigotry or people addressing bigotry, like my son Spike. Spike was with the shit, especially after he went through his second mutation.
Oh, yeah. After his first mutation is he's able to grow spikes and throw spikes, which is why he's called Spike. But
Well,
then,
they're technically bone protrusions, so he basically can manipulate his skeleton like Kimimaro from Naruto, for anyone who doesn't know.
Yep. And then he's able to, and then his second mutation, he's able to then manipulate that to the point where he's able to create a full set of body armor on himself.
And he also flaming ones exploded.
Oh, whoa! Did you just say flaming ones?
Yeah.
Why do I not remember that?
Yeah. So that was part of his second mutation.
So wait. So his first mutation was able to grow the spike. Second mutation was able to blow them up, and the third was the armor, right?
No. The flaming ones that exploded were all part of his second one with the armor.
Oh, okay. All right. But yeah, I just want to point out Spike was definitely one of my favorite characters in that series as well.
It was him and Avalanche for me.
I agree because there was a whole story arc where Avalanche was he had that moral tear between the Brotherhood and the X-Men because he had a thing for Kitty.
Yeah.
I started having a thing, and he started like, he started going back and forth. He didn't know where he really belonged at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he was the Brotherhood or, decided, maybe Xavier was right about Magneto to begin with. And then Blob, the dude, and then we actually get to see how strong Jean is throughout this series too.
Yeah.
How strong her telekinesis is. She's able to levitate Blob, who is, as if y'all don't know, he's massive. He's a massive guy. She's able to levitate him and pretty much fling this motherfucker around the room with like damn near no hesitation. And so the one part of the show that really sticks out to me is the storyline when they're talking about when they decided to really investigate Nightcrawler's teleportation.
Oh, yes.
That shit was extra because throughout the entire time that we see Nightcrawler, nobody really talks about his teleportation abilities. It's just that he can teleport here from there as long as he has seen the place before,
Mm-hmm.
or at least able to see where he's going.
What'd you just say?
As long as he's able to either see where he's going or that he's seen the place before.
And he can't go any further than 2 miles at one trip.
Yep. So what they end up doing is they want to know why. They're like, dude, you stink every time you teleport. And the smell was brimstone. He smelled the fire and brimstone as he teleported. So they wanted to get to the bottom of it. So what they did, they I forget who made it. It had to be Beast to make it. They made a
I think it was Ford.
who was it? Forge.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody made a mechanism that slowed down his teleportation, because when he teleported, it was an instant, boom, here, there. But so they slowed it down, and they were able to realize that, well, because he didn't even realize where he was going. He's like, oh, I went from here to there, but didn't know that there was somewhere in between, which was a completely like fucking nightmare hellscape that he would teleport to first before he came out to the other side. And that posed a whole problem within the episode of that. Pretty much when he teleported, it was actually him creating a portal from one place, going through another realm in order to get to a second destination. And what ends up happening, that ends up slowing his teleportation down so much that the portal that when he teleported stayed open. So, and then the creatures from that other realm, that nightmare realm, that demon realm, it ended up like flooding over into this realm. And so there's a whole shit where they had to like get them back into the into the nightmare realm, and then then speed up his teleportation again so he wouldn't open the portals anymore. And I feel like X-Men Evolution really cracked down on pretty much cracked down on all their abilities. And you really got to see and learn what all their abilities truly were. Didn't we see Havoc, Scott's brother, in this as well?
Yes, we did.
Yup. And that like I said, this show really dived into a lot of stuff that I feel that the 90s X-Men only touched on. And we just had to accept that it is what it is. Nightcrawler can teleport from here to there. That's that. That's all we know. That's all we need to know. But no, they give a lot of more context to the characters and their abilities and how they work. And I appreciate Jack doing this right now. This right here was his Legends 2.
Yep.
Yeah, X-Men Legends 2, and he has them all running in their classic original comic book, except for Wolverine.
Comic books.
No,
No.
It's the games.
Yes, the games.
Oh, so you haven't modded it to that point yet? I see.
This ain't the PC version of the game.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, emulator, PS2 emulator. Copy. It took me a second, but I got there. No wonder it's running so smooth.
It's running. And that's why it doesn't look good. The quality does a little off.
Honestly, it doesn't look too bad, honestly, because I really feel like this is what the game kind of looked like.
I would always play the games in a heartbeat. These games were phenomenal.
Yeah,
PC
absolutely.
versions give me a hard time. The control setup.
Copy.
The
No, yeah, I agree
with you,
Triage. This is I'd play these shits back in a heartbeat. Don't we end up seeing Pyro? In this game, we get to see a lot of a lot of different mutants in this game. And then it was RPG style too, because you can pick up new gear to make your character stronger and shit like that, level them up and everything. This game was just fire. This game was just fire. It was awesome. So what will be next on your list? Triage.
KND, Kids Next Door.
Let's talk about it. Let's dive.
So, I had a coworker of ours made a reference to the Little Rascals not too long ago. He was so upset because the Little Rascals would never be put back on any media because of some ownership issues. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So, and I asked him why. He said that was like one of the few times way back when you saw kids of all different ethnicities play together and there was no issues. Race was never a thing. And how I thought that was so cool about this cartoon was how inclusive it was. Like there was no negative stereotypes or no this, that, and the third. Like you had a character that was of Asian descent. You had a character that was of African American descent. You had a character had characters from all over the globe. and different continents that work together in unison and what's what I'm looking for, continuity to stop adult tyranny.
And and again, which also related back to being a kid at the time. We always we think, God damn, adults, man, they always stopping us from having our fun. So I really feel like it really it touched home for a lot of people. If you guys love Codename Kids Next Door, like it up, thumbs up, put it in there, put your favorite character in there in the comments. Let us know who your favorite characters were. Who would you say who was your favorite character? I already know.
You said you already know who yours is?
I already know who yours is.
Who's mine?
5.
I'm not going to disagree, but it was definitely well, did you know that all their names had something? Also, all their numbers had to do something with their names.
Really? I think I heard something about that.
Because number one was Nigel Uno,
Mm-hmm.
and one in Spanish.
Yep.
And then number 2, he was Hoagie P. He was Hoagie P. Gilligan the second, so he was a junior.
So he was the second, so he's number 2.
Yes. Number three was Kuki Sanban, and I'm drawing a blank on what her reference was to the number. I'm not sure if it was Kuki or Sanban, but it has something to do with the number 3.
Yeah, it's Kuki Sanban.
Okay, so the number 4 was Wallaby Beatles. The Beatles had 4 members.
Yep, and he's Australian too.
Yes.
And this is so I love this. So number 1, he was British American. Number 2, Jewish American. 3, Japanese American. 4, Australian American, and 5 was African American.
Yes. And then 5 was Abigail Lincoln. Lincoln was the 5th president.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, are we going to talk about her father, or are we just going to leave that? Or we're just going to leave that alone?
We're leaving that alone. We're leaving that alone. Like I rascals, why it can't be used? We're going to leave that one alone. We all know they were making a reference to, but no. What I will talk about is her fucking sister.
What was it? Bree?
It was Cree.
Cree.
Hag, why the name of that?
Go ahead, Jack. Why did you name her that?
Go ahead.
The voice actor, Cree Summer.
Oh, Cree Summer. Yep. Oh my God. I just want to give a shout out to Cree Summers. She has played the voice actor for so many prolific Black characters throughout our childhood and continuing to today. It was amazing. Yeah. So shout out to Cree Summers.
From Princess Kata and Atlantis to Susie Carmichael from the Rugrats.
Mm-hmm.
Even the divorce of Elmira, and I didn't even know that. From Looney Tunes. Tiny Toons.
Mm-hmm. Tiny Toons. Yep. And I and I feel like even though a lot of the times it was like number 1 who was kind of like the main showrunner, number 5, in the end, it's really her that ends up becoming the showrunner because it's her storyline that ends up bringing it into the full fold of the entire scheme of things going on with NK&D. Because again, you just mentioned her sister Cree. Cree was a teen who was a kind of like the adults kind of frontier, like kind of like they're kind of like lieutenants and kind of like generals or assassins in a way for the parents. So we end up finding out that teens were used to be operatives.
Yes, you get decommissioned on your 13th birthday, and you basically get your mind quote unquote erased, and then you go about your business until you're recruited by the adults. Except for except for Cree Lincoln, who fled and never had her mind erased.
Yep. So she knew, which made her the most deadliest assassin for the adults. Are we
Yes.
going to talk about the vampire dude?
We're,
Count
we're,
Dracula?
we'll get to him in a minute.
Okay.
But so that, I always thought that was so cool because it gave them like that sister rivalry, and I appreciated that because you know how pro black and how official they were. So I thought that was cool. But number five's relationship with the team in general was always very interesting because like you brought up the whole thing with number one being the showrunner because he's technically the leader of the team, but number one wound up joining the kids next door because he got kidnapped by the delightful children, and that's why he's bald. They never said what they did, but whatever it was they did to him is the reason why he's bald.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he went through his training at the academy, he never passed. Number five hacked the system and made it so it looked like he passed.
Oh shit! Damn, you're bringing it back for me now. You're jogging my memory on this. Wow, shit. And it goes to show that this show had, you know, a lot of people, they would see it as just like another little kids show, but no, like, yeah, it was a kids show, but it had depth. It had a lot of depth for only 20-minute episodes, and it had 6 seasons, 78 episodes, and each episode was 22 minutes. It aired from 2002 to 2008. That was, yeah. But then we end up seeing and then there was a few other K&D characters as well, like Chad, who was formerly number 274, I think 274.
Oh, yeah, he was supposed to be like a rock star, like the cool kid of the group.
Yeah, and he was like the newest member to pretty much hit 13 to be decommissioned. And I think and I remember correctly that that played a big part into the grand scheme of the show as well. We end up finding out that actually Nigel's father used to be the former number one.
Number zero.
Number zero, yeah, number zero. He was one of the first. Operation Zero. He was one of the first kids next door. And he still has no. There was something where certain adults end up getting their memories back, and his dad ended up getting his memory back.
Well, that's because the whole thing where father, who was the big villain of the series, recommissioned his grandfather, his father, and the grandfather now became the big bad villain, turning all the kids into senior citizen zombies. It's cool. If you're someone who grew up watching it, or if you had like older people in your life, you get it.
But there is this show just had so much nuance into it, and then all the episodes had acronyms: Operation Outbreak, Operation Science, Operation Virus, Operation Hamster, Operation Interviews, and it all tied into each other in some way, shape, or form. And the show, oh man, the show was just it was great it was great, and it's definitely a show that I would definitely go back and watch, hands down. You know, and for a show to have like 5 different executive producers, like it was solid, because you know the whole thing about
Isn't that the show with Rainbow Monkeys? Pretty much
that's
Rainbow Monkeys that was pretty much Care Bears.
Yep, they're pretty much their version of Care Bears. And it was number 3. She had this obsession with Rainbow Monkeys
And rap and anything else soft and yeah, but
Dragon Ball reference, and there's a Dragon Ball reference in that show too.
oh, I love that episode. Oh,
fighting Frieza.
yeah.
We're not going to try and pass like it didn't just happen. Did you just go Dragon Ball Z reference and giggle like a schoolgirl?
the fact, well, anytime an American show makes a reference to anime, it's fucking awesome. Like fucking Gumball, fucking the Adventures of Gumball. There's that whole episode when his mom and another adult fucking go full Dragon Ball Z fight in the middle of the school. Like anytime an American show makes reference to anime, which 9 times out of 10 the references are from Dragon Ball Z, it's lovely, and they do it so fucking well. I think number 4 goes Super Saiyan or some shit like that.
They make fun of the long hair thing.
Yeah, he ends up getting like super long, and they start making fun of his long hair and shit. Like it was gold. It was gold. It's fucking gold. Now on my list to go along with that kind of like ties into that time frame of K&D, and we all know, we all love it. Danny Phantom. He's a phantom. Like that show was so prolific that I damn near know the entire theme song by heart. Like and if you wasn't watching Danny Phantom, you wasn't living life. You wasn't living.
Tidbits of it. My friend Maria, she was a real big fan, but tidbits of it.
Hell yeah, and it was kind of dark too. It was kind of dark, and like they had different each ghost that Danny had fought had died in a certain way that led to them being that kind of ghost.
Yeah.
Look, we have the hunter, the one who was like the bounty hunter for the ghost zone. When ghosts would kind of get out of hand or whatnot, he'd come and he would wrangle them back into the ghost zone or whatever. He died in a hunting accident. He was actually a hunter in his life and died in a hunting accident. So now in the afterlife, he hunts. We got the box ghost. That's pretty dark too. I heard what he ends up like died in like a packing accident or some shit like that. Like it was dark. And then we have his parents who are complete absolute idiots.
They're smart, but they're stupid.
Yeah, I mean, how are you smart but you stupid at the same time? I mean,
Well,
like I've seen Jack do it quite a few times, but to be that level of smart and stupid, like you're ghost hunters, you're professional ghost hunters. Your son's a ghost, and you don't ever realize the shit.
He looks exactly the same.
He looks at. Thank you. He looks exactly the fucking same. Just palette swapped.
This palette swap was like, it's like Clark Kent with the glasses.
I don't even want to get to Clark Kent on the glasses because they end up expanding on that shit, and it's fucking stupid. Apparently, the glasses are some kind of like Kryptonian technology to mask who he is. So anybody that sees him with the glasses on sees somebody completely different.
You mean like his eye color changing and his hair becoming something that it wasn't before? He doesn't look any less like a cunt, like a Saiyan?
Ouch. Damn.
I'm just saying.
Damn.
That's basically what happens. He goes Super Saiyan and no one recognizes him.
Wait, hold on. I can't even say that. Everyone recognizes him when he goes Saiyan. Everyone recognizes him when he goes Saiyan. They know goes Saiyan. It's fucking stupid. They have long ass hair. But it's more ridiculous for Superman. They gave this man what was it? Kryptonian warrior telekinesis and shit, where he makes a fucking Susanoo. They gave him a Susanoo.
Well, that's good.
Granted, they gave Goku a Susanoo too. But again, Goku and fucking Superman are damn near the same fucking character.
Disrespectful.
It is. It's disrespectful. But like, so I don't even want to talk about Superman and that bullshit. With the fucking glasses. That shit's stupid. They damn near. If you look at Superman, they've given him every single fucking power underneath the goddamn sun. Damn near. No pun intended. No pun intended. No fucking pun intended. But what was I going on to? I was going into Danny Phantom, and yeah. Fucking
Calling his parents stupid.
yeah. His parents, and not only that, anytime they saw him, they'd try to beat the shit out of him. They tried to legit kill their son without knowing.
Sounds like typical parents to me.
You say sound like typical parents to me?
Does sound like typical parents to me. What do your parents do when you go to talk to them about some shit and make it worse?
Oh well, damn. Well, damn. Fucked up part is, ladies and gentlemen, level 7s. He's not even wrong. Not even wrong about that. Wow, damn, that was deep. Woo, that hit deep. Woo.
Right.
I
want to talk about the level of representation in this show.
Oh, please talk about it.
From his best friend Sam being the cool hippie goth to Tucker being the techno. I always think Tucker being queer. Maybe that's just me.
No. He liked girls. He was just too nerdy to kind of get him. But he does end up getting a love interest.
Now, okay, all right. Anywho, like I said, I took him as being queer. But anywho, I like the fact that he didn't have a small range of villains like who was it, Vlad?
Oh yeah, his arch nemesis, Vlad.
Yeah, I like you already mentioned the Box Ghost, the Lunch Lady, and what about the movie?
The movie, damn, I forgot they had a movie.
The ultimate enemy.
When he fuses with Vladimir, when he rips his ghost side from his human side, and he fights himself.
Oh,
he fuses with Vlad's side.
Oh yeah, Danny. Yeah, the
Dark
evil
Danny.
Dark Danny. Yeah, he's like super diesel, muscular and shit like that. Can we talk about Danny with an eye? Let's talk about Danny with an eye, his clone.
See, that was always weird to me. I never really got that.
You want to know the theory? Did you hear the theory about that?
I did not. Go ahead. Jesus Christ.
All right. Yeah. So, woo. All right, level 7s, prepare yourself for this. I just want to say, I am an ally. I am an ally. I just want to point out I am an ally.
So is Chucky. Went on.
You said Chucky?
Yes.
You're gonna have to expand on that one. Yeah, well, I'll get into what I gotta say in a second. Is that Danny Phantom versus Ben 10,000?
Yep.
Ben 10,000 spoke in his booth.
They just, I agree. I want to see. God damn. God damn. Holy shit!
What just happened?
You didn't see that shit?
No.
He one-shotted him.
Absolutely smoked his boots, like you said.
He literally steamrolled him.
10,000 is smoking his boots. He turned into Cannonball and just one hit fucking KO'd. Fucking sent the nigga back and forth across the motherfucking screen.
Told you.
Shit.
He's out of fighting now in round 2.
Wild Mutt. Out of all things, would you turn to Wild Mutt?
God damn. Well, listen, compared to what he just did to Danny, he just bent him over and hit him with the... Damn.
You're co-signing a lot of sodomy today. I'm just saying.
He won now.
If you saw what Ben just did to him was complete sodomy. Holy shit. Wow. I haven't seen a KO that fast in a long time. Wow.
In the forearms.
He's quick changing.
That's not just forearms. That's the that's like the advanced version, like the advanced version of forearms. Because
Looks
remember,
like-
all his aliens.
what's going on? He's choking now because it looks like Danny's winning when he won. Is there? He turned cannonball real quick and he changed back into okay. I don't know what happened.
What the hell? What the hell? Woo, man! I need more Terramana tequila on that one. Woo, Jesus! That was-
Whoop.
Yeah, don't it's getting real close. You better fight for your butt, Jack.
Hey,
Oh my god, damn!
I'm not playing. Fit me. This is a computer.
That's exactly how that should have ended.
This is a computer. It ain't me.
So what are you just picking the characters?
Yeah, you speaking them and having to go against each other. Whoever wins.
Christ.
Because god damn, bro, I can't. You didn't see that shit?
Jag,
Yeah.
is Dr. Manhattan up there?
I think he's here.
Put him against Alien X.
Ooh.
Power, we're getting off subject here.
I'm sorry. That shit just threw me, bro. That was an ass whooping for the ages. For the fucking ages. Wow. Okay.
Let's see if I can find him. Let me give me a second because he might be in the DC row.
Yeah, because he's Watchmen. Yeah, he's probably in DC row. But
blue.
Danny
I need to find a big blue naked dude.
He just couldn't be the blue dude. He's got to be naked too, Jag.
Bro, you know that's what he is.
You notice, bro. You watch Watchmen, HBO's Watchmen.
I don't know nothing.
You know everything.
Listen, in HBO's Watchmen, he actually does wear pants quite frequently. I'm just saying.
Oh,
until he goes blue and his dick's he has a blue dick just hanging.
I forgot he was here.
Fuck Michael Jackson.
I think he beat that case.
Listen, that man spent his whole life trying to be a white woman. Fuck that nigga.
Only because he was horribly abused by his father. Anyways, Danny with the Y. So Danny with the Y is Danny Phantom's clone. So the question is, if she's a clone of Danny, why is she a girl? That's a big question. Why is she a girl? If she's a clone of Danny, Danny's a boy, right? The theory is that Danny is actually transgender. The DNA is that of a female.
So his name's actually Danny. It's Daniela.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's the theory. The theory is that the reason why Danny with an I is a girl, even though she's a clone of Danny, who's a boy, is that Danny is.
I don't think Dr. Manhattan's here. I can't find him.
Oh,
I'm being straight serious. I can't find him.
Damn, that kind of sucks. Yeah. Well, it is a character over like what 3,000, or is this the 1,000?
This is one of the smaller ones. This is one of the smaller ones.
Okay, but yeah, that's the theory. That's a theory for Danny with an I, or why she's a female when Danny's a boy.
Hey, Power, I got a question for you.
Oh boy,
is Firestorm killing Goku?
Firestorm killing Goku?
Mm-hmm.
Which Goku are we talking about here? Are we talking about like Goku as he is now?
Either or.
If he's going against Goku as he is now, I don't think so. But if he's going against Goku anytime before Ultra Instinct, probably. But no, because Goku's fucking bulletproof. No.
The laser beam. There's a laser beam. There's a laser beam. There's a laser beam. There's a laser beam. You talk about
Aliens are only bulletproof when they're paying attention. If they know they're about to get shot, they're bulletproof. But we've seen plenty of times them get we've seen him get shot before.
What, like our Saiyans immune to radiation?
That's a good question.
And then we also seen that Firestorm can absorb massive amounts of energy.
Dude, I don't know. That's a good ass question.
He absorbed a nuclear explosion, so it's like
He is a nuclear explosion. No,
yeah.
he's a fusion. He's a fusion explosion. Fission. Nuclear fission.
Mhm.
That is a really wow. I never thought about that. I don't think anybody's ever thought about that. Yeah, I don't think anyone's seen about. I don't think everyone's said anything about that. That's wild. Holy shit, bro! That shit just blew my fucking mind, right there.
Yeah, it popped in my head the other day, so I figured I'd ask. But so Danny with an I, we believe that there's a possibility that Danny Fenton, is a trans male.
Yeah,
I've never heard that.
you haven't heard that? Yeah, that's crazy.
I want to do something for shits and giggles.
What was that?
I'm doing something for shits and giggles.
What shits and giggles is that?
We got SpongeBob. We got other people here.
Oh yeah. SpongeBob. Remember last time we did anything with SpongeBob, he was a fucking problem. Go with the red SpongeBob. What the fuck?
We're going with the evil one. All right.
Yeah.
Does that say evil god SpongeBob?
Yes, it does.
Fucking idiots.
That is fucking terrifying.
Okay. With the okay.
What the hell is that?
Nigga, this is the fight you wanted.
What?
Wow, he's dead. He dead.
He broke the game.
A ghost.
He broke the game. He broke the match. There he goes.
That's wild.
He hit that nigga with a 43 hit combo off Jump Street. Oh, but apparently his life drains as the fight goes on.
He's currently killing him now. This is currently game.
266 hit combo.
And he broke him. He clearly ended his life, and the game didn't register the kill.
Yeah.
And then registered it. Game.
Flawless victory.
Can we do the real fight now? See, just straight up one shot at him. Twice. You good, Power?
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at our comments. We've got a few people saying that their comments aren't coming through.
They're not. I'm not seeing them.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything come through either. Only comment I see is the one that dropped in there about with our link.
And he's getting beat in the corner.
Interesting.
SpongeBob getting beat in the corner.
So if you guys are on Facebook right now watching us, hop over to our YouTube or our Twitch. Leave comments there, and we can see if those go through. We do apologize if you guys have been commenting and they haven't been coming through. Hell yeah, nothing in the private chat at all. Nothing in nothing's been coming through on our side. So we do apologize to everybody. Definitely do apologize. Everything hasn't been coming through. So head over to one of our other streaming platforms, YouTube, preferably YouTube. Pop over there and take a look. So now Triage, back onto the countdown. What's next on you? What would be next on yours?
Next on mine would be.
Let's talk about TMNT. Let's talk about that.
Well, that's number one on my list. You know, I'm the A1 Turtles fan around here.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, besides the 90s movies, this is probably my favorite incarnation of the Ninja Turtles.
I agree. I definitely agree. This is one of the one turtle version of the Turtles that I really got into. Like I watched this shit every Saturday on 4Kids when I was sitting. I was right in front of the TV watching.
Yeah, you and me both. Because like when they first announced it, it was like a fake publicity stunt, and it was supposed to be like it was supposed to represent today, and then it's like it was an acronym, and it stood for today's modern Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then when you saw it, and they showed the pictures of them, I was like, oh, okay, here we go. And they let this shit be dark. They let it be gritty. They actually had to deal with issues and let them fight. Like that whole scene, like where the Foot Elite attack Leonardo and almost kill him.
Mm.
Like, and then he winds up dealing with his anger. I didn't like if you go back and watch, Donatello had anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
like severely. You know, Raph is always dealing with his temper. That's an ongoing thing with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that Michelangelo, he actually had a really strong moral compass where he was always just trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing I thought about this was Splinter and his maternal instincts towards the turtles. Like this is like the first time you get to see them like really acknowledge him, besides the '90s movie, as like their actual father.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did you feel about the show taking the turn into like them going into the future?
Oh, I mean, it, I get what they were trying to do. I didn't care for that season, but it was a solid, you know, it was a solid attempt.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's like I feel like the first like 3 seasons of that show were just golden. Like they're just like literally an untapped. And I like the fact that they let the Shredder be fucking evil. That he was dark as shit, like Baxter Stockman when he was working for the Shredder, and now like he'd fuck up or he'd make a mistake, and then he was like, "Well, you have to be punished for your failure." And every time you saw him, he was a little bit more beat up.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
like the first time, I think like he comes back and you see that like his arms in a sling, and then the next time he fails, you see that he's missing an eye. Then like the time after that, you see that he's got a neck brace on. Then the time after that, you see that he's actually missing an arm. Then I think the time after that, he's in a wheelchair.
Damn.
Yeah, like the Shredder had Hun fucking him up,
God damn.
and like you saw that Hun clearly took pleasure in his punishing of Stockman.
Yeah, because for him punishment document means he wasn't getting punished himself.
Mm.
And again that was a big thing. And if you take a look back at the '90s show, we see that we see that we see that he's not immune to Shredder's wrath either.
Big facts. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, he slapped the shit out of that kid. He put that motherfucker. He was beating that. He's beating those kids' asses. Oh, wild disrespectful. Mm.
And another thing I thought that this show did really good is that this show gave us our first real big look at Karai.
Shredder's daughter.
Yes, and they established her as an actual threat and like a loyal combatant, loyal not combatant, a loyal confidant to the Shredder. And I like the fact that like there was a lot of in her and Leonardo where she really had to question like her moral compass and what she was doing and what was going on. And like she even had to say to Leonardo, like, if the roles were reversed, would you be questioning your father and could you disobey him and what he wanted to do? And Leo had to look at her like, if it what he was doing was wrong.
Mm. And that's something that I also liked about this too. There was always those moments of questioning whether this is, am I actually doing the right thing? or am I just doing this because it's what I've been taught to do?
Hmm.
And a lot of these shows, in the early 2000s were shows that really touched on that a lot, especially when it comes to the bad guy, to the villain, or at least someone who's a part of the villain's squad is like, yo, are you do you really want to be this way, or is it just because you've been conditioned your whole life to be this way? I feel like the early 2000s, the shows that we're talking about in the 2000s really touched on, really helped build more so, like the moral compass of the audience of the time. These shows are the shows that really made us think that, like, wow, I don't have to be what everyone says that I have to be. I don't have to be the bad guy. I don't have to be the good guy. I don't have to be anything I don't want to be just because somebody told me that this is the way I gotta be. Yeah, so there was a lot of moral struggle in the early 2000s TV series. Um, what else stood out most to you? For me, it was definitely the art style. The art
Yeah.
style of the show, the combat. Oh my god, the way they portrayed and animated the fight sequences in this show was fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal, man.
The fact that they actually let them fight and you actually got to see them turn up, like
Yeah,
they,
you actually see a decent bit of blood in this show too. Maybe like a little bit, like a lip gets busted or something like that. You actually saw that.
well, the foot came very close to killing Leonardo, and he
Mhm.
struggled with that for like a good little minute. And then it's like he had to really like hunker down like a fight with the four of them, be like, I'm not going to live in fear. And like he doubled his efforts and literally took them on, and like he wound up conquering his fear. But then like there's also that whole thing like where they wind up gotten to get into their final confrontation with the Shredder. The Shredder like grievously kills all of them. I think like Leonardo had like a good chunk of his shell taken off. Michelangelo had both his feet broken. Raphael Donatello had his arm in a sling, I think, and a neck brace on. Like they were looking in rough shape, boy.
Yeah. I would also like to point out this is one of the few times we actually really get to see in a long time. We get to see Krang.
We didn't actually get to see. We got to see Krang himself briefly, but Krang wasn't a villain. We got to see his race. His race are called the Utroms
Oh.
because in this series, it's revealed that the Shredder is actually an Utrom.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm remembering. So it wasn't Krang himself that was controlling the Shredder.
No, the Shredder was an Utrom. You do see Krang for like a brief second, but he's not like a villain.
He's not someone that's taking an actual part in the show.
Yeah, he basically makes like a cameo.
Mm.
Like there's a scene like where the Utroms got out of like their shells and like they were walking across the floor and the one complains about it, and then like the leader of the group goes up Krang.
Okay. Oh, and even then, it was before he was like the leader.
Yes,
Because to my knowledge, Krang became the leader of the Utron. Was the leader of the Utron. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because again, you're the resident you're the resident turtle specialist here.
yeah. So Krang does wind up leading the Krang does wind up leading the Utroms, but it also depends on the version of the story you're reading. Because like in this version of the story, they were almost like the way they portrayed the Skrull and my air quotations in the Marvel universe, where the Skrull are refugees just searching for the planet. It was supposed to be that in this animated series, if the Krang got stuck on Earth and had been stuck on the Earth for centuries, they're just waiting for technology to develop. That way they can finally go home.
Mm. Gotcha. Oh, we got a comment here. Oh, you guys have to talk about Code Lyoko.
I never.
You never watched it?
No,
So,
I saw bits and pieces of it, but it's like I couldn't tell you about it.
so we got to be careful. So, Code Lyoko is another one of those shows that was originally a BBC show, and then ends up, it got ported to America. So you got to be careful on like which version that you find. You got to find the American version, which is all animated. The BBC version was live action and animation. So it was live action until they went into the digital world or whatever you want to call it, and then it was 3D CGI. But in the American version of Code Lyoko, it was animated all the way through. They had all the characters there, but it was just animated. And then when he went into like the cyber world or digital world, whatever they call it, it becomes 3 dimension. It becomes like 3D animation.
Mm.
So our show was most definitely fire. It was such a really good show. So if you haven't, definitely, I feel like I want to add an honorable mention category to this. So we're talking about the top 5, but I definitely feel like Kolioka would definitely be an honorable mention.
Mhm.
Definitely an honorable mention right there.
So wait a minute, hold on. So the original version was live action, and then it became animated.
Yeah, so the original version in in the UK was live action. And when in the show, the live action show, when they went into the cyber world, then it was 3D and 3 dimensional and stuff. But when it came over to America, I don't know, something with they didn't want to do the actors or what, something like that. They don't want to do the live action thing, so they animated it. And so it's animated until they go into that cyber world in America. And I just recently found this out not too long ago, maybe like last year I found this out when I was trying to find the I want ever so often, I get those those spurts where I want to listen to like the theme song of an old show that I used to watch. And I was like, yo, I want to listen to Kodioko. I was with my fiance. I was like, yo, let me pull it up. And so I pulled up the intro, and the intro was live action. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? This is not the intro that I remember. Was this like maybe like a first season thing and then it changed or something like that? And kind of find out no, like or that was like the original intro where everything was like live action and stuff like that. I think the theme song's still the same too. The actual theme song is still the same. But yeah, the actual everything in there was actually live action and stuff. And I started doing my research and like, oh shit, it's a port over like Being Human. It's one of the situations. It's a Being Human situation. As well as we talked about another show that was like that earlier that was originally BBC, and then they brought it over here and they had to make some changes when they brought it over here. But yeah, so Code Lyoko is definitely an honorable mention for some top 5 early 2000s TV shows, TV series. Now on my end, I know that we haven't touched on everything within our lists. But for me, another one on my list is a live action show by the name of Eureka, which was it came out 2006. It ran until like 2012, and it was a live action series on Sci-Fi on the Sci-Fi Network back when it was what was that, SCI-FI, before it became the bullshit that SYFY became in 2009. But yeah, so it's a show that follows United States Deputy Marshal Jack Carter, who ends up coming across this town out of nowhere, this town by the name of Eureka, as he's transporting a fugitive, because I guess he's U.S. Marshal, so he's transporting a fugitive who just so happens to be his daughter. Back, he's trying to, the whole parent separation situation. So like his daughter ran away from her mom, and so he's trying to get her back to her mom. Now within that, there's an experiment within the town that goes wrong that ends up crippling the sheriff's car, and he's stuck in that ends up crippling the sheriff of Eureka. So Jack Carter ends up, he ends up filling that vacancy of a sheriff. So he goes from U.S. Marshal to a sheriff. Now, the town of Eureka is a town that is full of geniuses. The United States government created this town full of geniuses in order to cure world hunger, create a bunch of high tech equipment for pretty much the better the world, better the United States, so on and so forth, blah 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 blah. So pretty much the show follows this character Jack Carter and his journey pretty much in this new town, pretty much being uprooted from the life that he had prior to now become the sheriff of a town full of geniuses. Everyone's doing experiments, and every episode is pretty much an experiment gone wrong. So now it's his duty to figure out how to make it right and keep the town safe. Essentially, keep it safe from itself. Now, if you guys haven't seen this show is really, really good. It went for like 5-6 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, and it was pretty in depth, pretty goddamn in depth. And from the character development to the situations that happen within each episode, it was unique. Every episode was something different. Let's say somebody's fusion reactor is about to blow up. Fucking cybernetic warheads gone awry. Fucking what else we got? There's so much shit that happens within this show that there's one guy who is literally the most average man that you ever could have met. Now has to deal with these high tech super genius problems.
Jesus Christ.
What?
What? You good over there, Jag? You dying on me, brother? You good?
Yeah, testing 1, 2, 3, Jag.
Come in, Jag. Jag, do you copy?
What?
Walk away from the foreign screen and put the Vaseline down.
I was busy doing something in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? Like what? Like what?
Vetting something.
Vetting something?
Yes.
What the are you talking about? Vetting something.
I'm checking a Mugen I haven't ran in a while. I'm betting it real quick. Give me a second.
Okay.
Sure. Got you. We didn't know what you were doing. You walked away. We hadn't heard from you.
I didn't walk away. I was doing something in the background trying to get this thing to load.
Yeah, I was sitting there waiting for you to respond. I was sitting there like, oh,
Nah, I just
God.
you know what I'm saying? Going on crazy popping up. You know what I'm saying? So
Nothing crazy popping up, bro. Nothing crazy. And listen, we have people watching this. I'm not trying to hear.
that's why I'm betting. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Oh, you're trying to make sure it ain't nothing crazy in the Mugen?
I
Fuck
haven't
it.
ran this Mugen, so I gotta look. Nope, can't run it. Never mind.
Morgan or Minotaur?
Just something I seen pop up based on names.
Oh, yeah.
Based on
Things get
certain
crazy
names.
in Mugen sometimes, and there's certain things that we can't put on stream, even when we do make some changes to our stream. We just can't do it. We just can't do it. Just can't do it. I can't do it. You know, certain things are just not made for mortal eyes. If you guys get what I'm saying here. Man, back to what I was saying before. I thought that Jag died somewhere in the corner.
All right, we're good.
But yeah, it was a show on Sci-Fi. It went alongside Warehouse 13,
Control it.
Sanctuary, pretty much that golden age of the Sci-Fi Channel. This was it. This was a show that pretty much carried the Sci-Fi Channel for quite a few years. So for me, I feel like this is also an honorable mention. I know it's not animated, but it definitely this was definitely the show for a while. And again, like I said, a crossover with a show called Warehouse 13 in an episode. I think it was like it was an episode of Warehouse 13 that was like episode
Well,
3.1.
we
It was
should
like
be good.
season 1,
I'm in
episode
control,
13.
so
I think it was like called Crossing Over or some shit like that. But guys, this show it was amazing. If you guys were a sci-fi fan back in the day, you guys know about the show. You know how awesome it was. You know the love interests were pretty fire. There was so he's a sheriff of the town, so of course a sheriff has to have a sheriff deputy. His sheriff deputy was, I think she had to be a 6 foot tall Latina chick that was she was a 6 foot tall Latina vet. She was a war vet. And she was weapons. So like some shit will go down and she'd hit a button at the sheriff's office and a fucking whole pillar of sci-fi weapons will come out the middle of the fucking floor with a shit ton of wild ass looking weapons on it. Pardon my language, for all the youngins watching. If anything, you probably heard worse. But and she was ready for war, bro. Watch the show. This character, I can't remember her name for the life of me. I think it was Ortiz. I think it was Deputy Ortiz or something like that. But oh my god, like her character, Lupo, Josefina Lupo, they call her Joe. Her character was so ready for war, bro. She throw the face paint on. She'd be walking, crawling through the mud just to take the shot, bro. She was a monster. She was a monster in the show. So I absolutely recommend this show to anyone who wants a live action show. There's 5 seasons. There's like 77 episodes plus like 8 webisodes. And it was and it's like they're like hour-long episodes too. And it's not, each episode isn't standalone. There's a lot of standalone episodes, but in the end there's an overall grander scheme of things going on in this show. Now, I want to flip back to your list real quick. There's one show on there that we haven't talked about yet on your list. We talked about everything on my list, except there's one we haven't talked about, but we can leave it out for another episode. We haven't talked about Justice League and Justice League Unlimited yet.
Yes.
Please, sir, go in. Please, we need you to fucking go in, because I know how awesome this fucking series and the continuation series are. So please, sir, let people know what's going on with this show. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited for you people.
Okay, so the original Justice League show was their take on the Justice League and how it was formed. Now, took a handful of members from across the DC universe and formed them into a team. Some of them, some unofficial. I'm talking that fucking cunt. But
What the fuck, Jack? Are you okay over there, bro? Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
That was not a very convincing.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Fuck you, Doc Slow, nigga. So
Why? Holy shit! Wow, that was intense. That got real intense for a minute. Wow. I'm sorry. Continue. Holy shit, that was intense.
So we had 7 members of the founding league. It was Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the Green Lantern, who was John Stewart, Hal Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why most people think the Green Lantern is black. We had. Now you said as they should.
As a motherfucking should.
Listen, we can agree to disagree on that one. Okay. We had Wally West, who was the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
And then these last two were pretty much standalone characters who made their own presence felt within this team. And I always thought that was really cool. Was Hawk Girl, Shira Hall, and then the Martian Manhunter, John Jones.
John Jones.
John Jones.
Gotta put the apostrophe in there. Gotta put the apostrophe in there.
Okay. So yes. So they decided to form a team, and they took on all threats to the United States, to the world, and to the solar system in general. So this cartoon was hands down a good 10, 15 years in the making, because this goes back to the Superman the animated series. It goes back to Batman the animated series. They tied Batman Beyond into this. They tied Static Shock into this. They basically tied everything within the DC animated universe that was established at this point in time and tied it together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this series did one thing. Like I feel like when Marvel was blueprinting the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they followed this series.
Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
The way everything got tied together and the way they made everything work, I thought that was always really cool. And then the characters that you got to see them deal with, a lot of the villains were not like they weren't mainstream, but they were legitimate threats. Like that whole episode where they had to deal with Dr. Destiny.
Oh, I mean, there was quite a few. There was quite a few mainstream. They literally had the whole Legion of Doom. The whole Legion of Doom, from Lex to Cheetah to Solomon Grundy, Black Manta. Fuck.
Right. It was Death Ray. It was not Black Manta.
Oh, it was Death Ray. You're right. It was Death Ray. To the what was it, Atomic Skull or Toxic Skull? Atomic Skull. Yep. Which he's kind of like on the lower end. He's on the lower end of the villains. But yeah, I'm sorry. Continue.
So we had them deal with Dr. Destiny. We had the whole thing with them introducing Vandal Savage as a big threat, and this is like one of the first times we get to see him in animation, and we get to see what he's about. And that whole crossover movie they did called The Savage Times, where this fucker communicated with a version of himself because Vandal Savage is immortal. So what he did was communicate with the version of himself that was in the past, and then he coordinated with him and sent technology back in time. That way the Nazis could win World War II, and then he could rule and take over everything. And then the Justice League, who wound up being transported back in time, had to take care of that.
Oh yeah, I remember all that. Oh Jesus, fuck! This show really went in. Like I know it went in, but not that much.
Oh, let's see. The other thing I thought that was cool was the storytelling, because even when they progressed and went forward and talked about certain things, they always went back to the other series.
Mm-hmm.
To them bringing back Volcana, to the Joker and everything that happened with Tim Drake, and how that gets mentioned later on in the series, to Static Shock making his appearance And Static was actually revealed to be one of the stronger metahumans, and that was something else I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah. And like they have a whole episode when they go back in time. Well, they went forward in time. They went into the future, and where we got old man Static Shock, fucking straight grayed out dreadlocks. We got John Stewart and Shire Hall's son. What was his name? What was his name?
Warhawk.
Warhawk.
Right.
All right. And there's literally a whole they went into depth. They went into depth. They connected every single thing into this show, from Justice League all the way into the next series, Justice League Unlimited.
Where they introduced other characters like Green Arrow, the Black Canary, the Question, the Huntress.
Ooh, like the list of characters that they introduced is literally like you wouldn't be able to count them on your fingers. So from Stargirl to fucking to Steel, you know,
Animal Man, Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific. Damn. There's one character I'm thinking about specifically, and I cannot remember his name. But he kind of like had a fusion of a bunch of powers. Like he had the Elastic Man's powers and a few other different powers. He was able to kind of like adapt to his environment, kind of thing.
Talking about Amazo?
No, Amazo was a villain. He was an android villain that Lex had made to take down the Justice League.
Negro, I know that, but I want to see if that was who you were talking about.
No, he was one of the villains. His color, so his skin was gray. He had his top was orange, like Aquaman. Who?
Metamorpho.
Yes, Metamorpho. Yep. Yeah. And again, that's a character that fucking I never even knew who he was. Yeah, they literally brought every hero from the DC universe in the comics they brought into here. Fucking Booster Gold. Nobody gives a fuck about Booster Gold, but they brought Booster Gold into it.
Booster Gold can eat my ass.
Booster Gold probably does eat ass. But he eating future ass.
Booster Gold sucks. He's a bitch ass nigga, man.
For real. Literally, he went back in time to capitalize on the superheroes renown back then so he can get famous.
Because he was a failure in his time.
Yeah, big failure. Like he's fucking Eobard Thawne without the revenge.
Yes, that's exactly what he is, actually.
For those who don't know, he was the Reverse Flash without the revenge. There you go. I'm gonna put it that way for those of you who don't know. But that show in that show we see Flash really get into like a lot of his power. I remember when when Lex had fused with Brainiac. Nobody else could take him down but the Flash. The Flash pretty much damn near sacrificed himself.
Tapped into the Speed Force.
Tapped into the Speed Force and started running around the Earth back and forth with and just hitting him with the force from running around the entire globe. And it was so funny because at first Lex is like, look at him run away. Not knowing all he was doing, he was running from where he was all the way around the planet from the other side just to punch him in the fucking back at Mach 20, pretty much.
Yeah, he didn't see that coming.
He was hitting him so hard, he was knocking Brainiac's like armor off of him, hitting him so hard. to the point where like he was moving so fast he could no longer control his speed or the Speed Force, and ends up evaporating into the Speed Force.
Could have slapped himself 5. He was running that fast.
Exactly. You know, and it's like I feel like it's such an underrated. It was an underrated show. It was a very, very, very underrated show. And then I feel like they really got their renown with Justice League Unlimited when they really brought in all the Justice League. They brought in the Watchtower, the full Watchtower out in space. There was a whole storyline with fucking going against Cadmus.
With the Ultramen and everything they were doing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then I feel like a lot of the storyline for Justice Unlimited, if you really look at it, Justice League Unlimited, that ideology and that whole premise carries into Young Justice.
Oh yes, definitely. With the government being afraid of the Justice League and what they were capable of, like she said, in an alternate universe, 6 of you overthrew the country. Excuse me. In another universe, 6 of you overthrew the government and murdered the president.
Yep. Yeah. Shit. Lex becomes president at one point in this series.
Well, he ran. Excuse me.
Yes. And it got to a point where it's just like somebody ends up hacking the Watchtower and takes control of the orbital laser beam.
It was Lex.
Yeah, it was Lex. And that's what ended up started the whole Cadmus shit. Like, yo, you know, you guys can't be trusted. You had a whole fucking laser beam up there that you could have used at any moment in time and absolutely obliterated any country, any state on the planet. No, you guys are a threat. And yeah, that alone was fucking was nutty. Was nutty alone. And then they having to kind of work within the confines of the government and what they allow them to do. It was like DC's version of the Soviet Accords.
Yeah.
What do they call it in the actual in actual comic book? Mutant the mutant or like Mutant Registration Act and shit like that. Right?
Man.
Yeah, it was a in the comic books it's the Mutant Registration Act, and then in the and then in Avengers it's the Soviet Accords.
Correct.
But yeah, it's fucking Justice League Unlimited was A1, top tier. And if I was to put any of these shows that we just talked about in order, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited would be number 1. It would most definitely 100% be number 1. Because it was the most prolific. It was the most. What the fuck? God damn.
He one-shotted him.
Who one-shot at who?
Reverse Flash one-shotted the other Flash.
Dawn is a cunt.
Mm-hmm. Oh, quick side tangent. I need to talk about this.
Go ahead.
How do you feel about the ending of the Flash?
I haven't sat through it yet.
You haven't sat through it yet?
I'm still in the middle of the last season. I haven't finished it. I started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so it kind of got sidetracked, but on the back burner.
Okay. Definitely Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s definitely a better show to watch anyways.
Yeah, I'm currently bouncing back and forth between Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and SWAT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jag, one time for the one time. Hit that random button.
Okay.
One time for the one time. Hit that random button. See what we get. We get.
It better not be something weak.
Better not be.
Was that like fucking Donald?
Yeah.
It's gonna be something weak.
Oh shit! Donkey Kong versus Donkey Kong versus Yodwatch. Oh, this is about to be some bullshit. All right, first off, hold up. Spoiler alert. I just want to put up a quick spoiler alert for people that are watching for what I'm about to say. Spoiler alert. Spoiler, if you have not caught up with Bleach, this man your watch was strong enough to take out Captain Yamamoto, the captain of the entire 13 court guard squads, the strongest motherfucker that we've ran into in the Bleach universe, going against Donkey Kong. This is a 100% one-sided fight. This motherfucker you're to watch, it's a problem. He's the leader of the Quincy's. Leader of the Quincy's. They have the ability to still Soul Reaper's bankais. Bro, stop charging and do something, donkey. Damn. Oh, damn. It's over. Oh, goddamn. Oh, he dodged that. Oh, he's blocking. He's blocking. Don't stop blocking. Oh, goddamn. Even. Oh.
Didn't mean jack shit.
Didn't do a goddamn thing. Didn't do a goddamn thing. This game said, fuck you, Donkey Kong. God damn. But yeah, your watch is definitely he's an absolute. He gives zero fucks. Sasuke versus the dude from Ultimate Muscle.
Ultimate Muscle.
Yeah, it was like an anime that was on like 4Kids a while back in the day.
That's
a wrestling anime.
It was a wrestling anime.
That sounds colorful. How about Sasuke versus Vegeta?
I think the Dragon Ball Z characters in this game are too broken to go against anybody else.
Why?
Nah, I can do it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
All right, both at their current.
Yes.
All right. I gotta find Sasuke current again.
I want to point out this is a new Mugen build for us, so we don't really know who, what, where, and where they are.
Down. Then...
Wait. Is that Sasuke with the Rinnegan or without the Rinnegan?
That's where he's currently at.
Because where he's currently at, he doesn't have the Rinnegan. He got side hit by Boruto when he was possessed by Ishiki, and fucking got his Rinnegan ripped out of his face. Yeah, fuck you, Boruto. That fucking series nerfed the two strongest characters in one episode.
And apparently nobody likes it.
Yeah, just because they apparently, from what I'm hearing, they're just now getting out of the filler arc. There was a long ass filler arc that they were just in.
We're gonna do current. Give me a second, because this is new. Like I said, that's another build.
You gotta find their current.
Yeah, I'm gonna go different build. This is a build I know is current. Give me a second.
Yep.
Build I know is current.
All right, so honorable mentions. Triage, what's an honorable mention for you for the early 2000s?
I pretty much went through my list.
The
one thing I mentioned real quick was back to the Ninja Turtles. Is that the one thing I did like about the 2003 series is that it gave me my favorite incarnation of Casey Jones, Goongala.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely, they definitely get that. Oh, you said Goongala and it dropped them out. Damn, that's wild. That's wild. So for me, an honorable mention. It's a really, really obscure show, but I really liked it. Fuck. What was it? It was a WB show. It was on and it was like a family who their job was to pretty much find cryptids. For those of you who don't know, cryptids are pretty much like how do you say, they're like how do you say, they're like pretty much, I don't know. Pretty much like fucking Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster, all these like cryptid monsters back in the day. What was it? What was it? All right, here he goes. Here he goes. He's back. He's back now. He's back now. Um, so for me, an honorable mention would be the show called Cryptids. Back in the day, it was on. It premiered on WB. It was like it was come on, like it was like Sunday morning cartoons, and then so I can't remember the name right off the rip, but here's another honorable mention that I think we all can get behind.
Static Shock.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I mean, we already kind of talked about that. That's definitely an honorable mention, 100%. Everybody knows about that. But for me, I'd have to say Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and Mucha Lucha.
I never really watched either one of them.
Really, Foster's was that shit, bro. It was one of those shows that you just sat there and just watched because of the absolute fucking shenanigans that would go on within the within the show. And then Mucha Lucha was pretty much luchadore. It was a cartoon about
Rey Mysterio.
what was that?
It was a cartoon about Rey Mysterio.
Pretty much, but pretty much, yeah. Pretty much,
Dang,
it was
the
a
current
whole,
one ain't in here. All right,
it was a whole
unless it's the only current I can get. Current I can get.
For pretty much luchadores. They were training to be wrestlers, lucha wrestlers, and they all had their own specific kind of like signature moves in a way, and like it was like one of those shits that you would just sit there and watch as a kid eating a big ass bowl of cereal. That's what we forgot to do, man. Talk about the share and eat bowls of cereal. That's what we were supposed to do during the stream. Cereal. That's that. Damn, I completely forgot. That upsets me now. I'm about to go eat a bowl of cereal for dinner now, even though I got mad food in the fridge. I'm about to eat a bowl of cereal for dinner just because. Just in honor of the good old days where we can sit back and fucking Sabrina the Teenage Witch, fucking dude, the list goes on.
No way, then just those two just not just fuse together. No, that's cheating. That's cheating.
Oh goddamn!
Who fused together?
Goku and Vegeta to make. Wait, which fusion was it? Fusion Dance or Batara earrings?
Stars. Give me Vegito. Blue.
Vegito.
Well, it looks like your butt's in trouble, Jag. Or are you still not playing?
I'm not playing.
Oh yeah, no. We watch.
I bet you do watch, Power.
Nah, yeah, we watch because this shit gets crazy, bro. This game is crazy, bro. This game gets really
dead.
hard.
Bye, Vegeta.
Really fucking hard. No pun intended.
So wait, what happened to Vegeta fighting Sasuke?
He just did.
I'm doing it now.
Okay.
Oh, he full healthed him. He full healthed himself. He healed himself.
Who did?
Vegeta. He went Ultra Ego and healed himself.
Yeah, that move wasn't fair.
And he's fighting Sasano. So.
Oh, Sasano's doing damage. Sasano's doing some damage. Don't power down. Oh, you're dead. He's dead.
My first round.
It's first round. Yeah, he can come back. He can come back. He can definitely come back. Definitely coming back. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please. Fuck that. Hold on. Run it back. Honorable mention. Forget about Mucha Lucha. Forget about the other shit that I said. Shaolin Showdown. Anybody remember Shaolin Showdown?
I do.
That show was the shit. That show was the absolute shit right there. If you guys want to watch anything that really like embraces and embodies the early 2000s, Shaolin Showdown was where it was at. That was where it was. You
He
know,
said 2-ton tunic.
Orba Tsunami. Oh my god, bro! That was it right there. I'd sit there. I watch, bro. I will currently sit there and watch through that shit. Currently sit there and watch through that. I bet apparently they tried to do another one recently, and it just didn't work. It just didn't sit well. Um there's creatures are your nightmares, like urban legends and stuff like that. Samurai Jack is another good honorable mention before we wrap up here.
Said they call me Jack.
And that intro is just iconic. The intro is just so fucking iconic that when you hear that beat hit, when you hear that shit hit, it's over. You know what time it is. Another WB show that didn't last long, that was above its time, Lunatics Unleashed.
Yeah.
Mm,
I get where they. Oh, go ahead, Jack.
Go ahead.
really? Looney Tunes anime characters, pretty much with superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Eh,
It was supposed to be.
eh.
It was the Looney Tunes. It was future post-apocalyptic. I wouldn't say post-apocalyptic.
No, it definitely was.
It definitely was post-apocalyptic. Yeah, it was post-apocalyptic. Pretty much Looney Tunes with that ended up getting superpowers from it was like a meteor,
Yep.
strike. That shit was so dope, and there were superheroes and shit, and literally every single Looney Tune had a superpower. Was it Bugs? Was fucking teleportation? Taz was tornadoes. Um the Roadrunner, what was his name? Rody
Rev.
Rev. Yeah, fucking he was super speed and shit. That show it had so much potential. Like like to me, that show was sitting alongside Superman Animated Series, Batman Animated Series, Justice League Limited. It could have been right alongside those if they would have been able to expand on it and let that show grow.
I don't know about that, but my issue was like there was no big villain.
Exactly, and that's what ended up killing the show off. There was no real villain, which is what ended killing the show off. And it just they did it was like they had a bunch of one-off episodes. The whole season, pretty much a lot of one-off episodes, and didn't come to a conclusion. They didn't reveal any kind of big bad at all. So it could have been so much better. It could have been so much better, and that I want to honorable mention that because it was worth its weight. It could have really, it was like what Ace Bunny, Lexi Bunny, Danger Duck, Slam, who was a Tasmanian Devil. We got Tech, who was Wile E. Coyote, and Rev, the Roadrunner.
Oh, it's Wile E. Coyote. It's Wile E. Coyote genius. You got to throw the genius in there.
Yes. And actually, let's clarify. They're all descendants of Bugs, Lola, Daffy, Taz, Wiley, and Road.
Lola was a whore.
She was. They went from playing basketball to saving the world. Playing basketball to saving the world, which I found cool because like they weren't the characters as we know. They weren't they weren't the characters that we know. They were descendants of the characters we know. They were like the great grandkids. They weren't bashing each other with fucking sledgehammers anymore. They were superpowered. And I don't know. I just feel like that show it could have been more. If they were to bring it back and try again, it would have. It would work. It would definitely. I feel like personally for me, it would work. I watched the shit out of it. It only got 2 seasons. It was only 2 seasons, like 26 episodes, over and all. I most definitely watch that. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, level
Are
seven.
you forgetting something?
Um, that
Word
is
from our sponsors.
that's our show for right now.
A word from our sponsors.
Sponsors.
Yes. All right, fine. We'll do a word from our sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not yet tried W Energy Drink, please click our link tree that we have left in the chats there. Our link tree bringing straight to W Energy Drink. This thing is amazing. This drink is amazing. Crassless, jitterless. It will give you the pep in your step that you need to keep going for the rest of the day, for any project that you have going on, anything that you need. Let's say you're a streamer, you need a little bit of an extra boost going in for your late night streams to keep the party really going. W Energy Drink is the way it is. Guys, definitely please click our link below. It'll bring you straight to the W site, and you can get 10% off any order of W, any one of your W products. Guys, please give it a try. It is absolutely fucking amazing. Um, Another we big announcement that we have going on before we end this off. We will be moving our stream away from Facebook and away from Twitch. We'll be moving forward, going towards Kick. Uh, Guys, I we just feel like it's better for what we have going on. We'll be able to get more views that way. We'll be able to start building a better funding for ourselves. Um, so definitely click our link. It is the first link that we have there. The Super Breakdown will be moving solely to Kick and YouTube. YouTube catalogs all of our old episodes. Please check out YouTube, the Super Breakdown on YouTube. Check it out. All of our episodes are in the Super Breakdown playlist. We will have some gameplay streams, some gameplay live streams coming your way. Coming straight from our PS5, coming straight from our PCs. Guys, we have a lot going on going into this next year. These last 6 months have been absolutely phenomenal. Everything we've been doing has been leading up to bigger and better things for you guys, whether it be better streaming products, better equipment that allows us to give you guys a better, more interactive stream. It's all for you. It's all for you guys. We want to be able to bring you guys quality content. We want to be able to openly express how we feel, openly express our ideologies and stuff. And we feel like Kick is the best way to do so. So it's the same thing on Kick, the Super Breakdown. Again, check it out. It is our first link on our link tree. Guys, we love you. Thank you guys for watching the Super Breakdown. Thank you guys for supporting us. We have a lot of big things. We have a lot of Comic-Con, a lot of cons that we're going to within the next few months. Honestly, I think starting in August, either starting in August or starting in September, we have about 4 or 5 different cons that we will be going to. Thank you, guys. We're about to skyrocket. We're about to go off. We really want you guys to tune in and come along with us as we take this journey to streaming stardom, to podcast stardom. There ain't nobody else like us. We doing our thing out here. If you know anybody else like us, let us know, and we'll do better than they are. We are the Super Breakdown Podcast. I am Power Maximus the Conqueror. Actually, hold on. I am
Power Maximus the Conqueror, and I am here with none other than the arachnic demigod, Lord Triage, and the one, the only, Saiyan King himself, Saiyan Jag. We love you guys.
you. Please tune in for the next episode of Super Breakdown. We love you guys. Peace.
Gungala.
Gongala.